Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For the new people joining, welcome. This is not a political poll. This is a spiritual poll. Every Sunday, a group of us come together to raise our vibrations. And in doing so, we set the seeds of intention. And those seeds we're beginning to feel like they're sprouting. We sense it. A lot of us sense this huge change that we're going through. And so as we gather in love, light, understanding, compassion, others around us cannot help but to jump on the train that we are creating, that we are riding on. So you may want to pause this now and get some water, get some tea, a little coffee. This may be a little long. Someone did say, I wish Sunday with Spirit were longer. Well, I think you may get your wish here. What I want to talk about today that's been filtering through this week is letting go, holding on to things that don't really serve us. And so a little backstory, I was told that I had a past life that was very traumatic and that was holding me back from reaching another step, a potential. And I went, I've never felt it. I've never been aware of it. Nobody else mentioned it. So, and when I tapped into it, I didn't even feel it. And so I'm thinking, is there something in us that's holding us back that we don't even know about? Possibly. Certainly, we will only see what we want to see. The other thing is, what are we holding on to too tight that we should just give up, that we do know about? As we raise our vibrations up from the 3D sludge into 4D, 5D, 6D, what we hold dear will shift. So how do we solve conflicts? It's not by holding on to things. I think it's by giving them away. When we're done using them, when we've used everything that we can out of a gift that we have, why not give it away? So that's what I wanted to look at. What's holding us back? What if we graciously, without reservation, gave up something that is precious to us? How will that move us towards a new way of understanding? Let me lay out what I have here. The first card, just a general first card. This is the Galactic Heritage cards. This is going into a new shift, a new reality, a new vibration. So many of us are feeling that it's coming. we're getting closer and closer. There are some energy people who are talking about this, and they're talking about it through astrology. They're talking about it through tarot cards. They're talking about it in a number of different ways. We sense it. We've been waiting for it. It's starting to show up more and more. This is the 3D. This is what we're hanging on to. And the cards that I'm using for that are the Oracle, Prism Oracle, and Dark Mirror. When I pulled the Prism Oracle, I go, I'm not getting the clear answer that I need to get. And I always thought that I should be using the Dark Mirror cards because that's what we're holding on to, the darkness, the shadow side of what we think is good to hold on to. Here's the transition. I'm using the Lakota Sweat Lodge cards and the Aboriginal Oracle cards, Aboriginal Spirit, as we transition to a new way. So the very first card that we have, this is where we're going. This is where we're headed. True compassion. And it's the future. True compassion. And I looked at the card number 107, which comes down to an 8. Rebirth, infinity. I'm not a numerology guy, but that's what I associate it with. And again, as we look at these cards, where am I going to put this? Here? Where am I going to put this? Put it here. When you look at these cards, your interpretation is just as important to you, if not more so, because you're going through your own things of what you're holding on to. And it's different than what I'm holding on to. And it's all the same what we are holding on to. All right, let's take a look. You can pick a row. You can pick them all. You can pick however you want to pick these, however they resonate with you. And they may not resonate with you until they're all turned over. Here we go. What we're holding on to. The first card we get is strength. Why aren't we giving it up? Because we're going to lose our strength. We've collected all of this to show how strong we are. Look what I got. Look how much money I have. I am strong. Right? It gives us strength, what we have. We think we're at peace. It gives us a peace of mind. That's okay. I have enough that I'm going to continue to be strong. But really, the shadow side of it is this me? Is that really you? Having all this stuff, this strength, is that really you? Is that really your strength? Is it really your peace? That's what this card's asking us. If we were to give away what we perceive as our strength and our peace, and that just is hard to even imagine, but we have a different opinion. It's a different reality, what we think is peace and what isn't. So if we shift it to give it away, and I think it goes back to this card here, to find true compassion. We get, the path we go is women with two faces. Woman with two faces. And this card suggests that there are two ways to look at everything. There are two ways to look at strength. There are two ways to look at peace. We need to question what is really true. Who are we really? Are we a nurturer or are we a trickster? And I don't want to blame the crow as just the trickster, because the trickster is extremely smart. But maybe it's tricking us into thinking that we need something and we really don't. And if we were to let go, if we were to succeed in letting go and moving on to the future card, the galactic card, the higher dimensional card, there's a windfall that's coming to us. Wow. And it's interesting when I look at this card and I think of Hawaii these days. I don't know if you can see this in this light, but it looks like lava flowing. It looks like a cave system. There's so much underground in this woman with two faces and us trying to figure out what to let go of, what to hang on to. And we end up with this, what? Is that what I just read? Healing crisis and purging. And what is this future? Present. Orion, present. And here we had Orion, future, the true compassion. So in this card, it feels like there's an umbilical cord that is feeding both. The purging needs to happen before the healing. And it feels like we're both in crisis mode at the present because we have too much baggage, stuff, strength. Our image of what all this hanging on does, it's good. I'm peaceful now, so if I let go of something, it may disrupt me. Okay, let's go here to row 2. And we have, for the two color cards, are rest and hunger. Rest and hunger. We don't want to give these up. And I don't understand what that means. What are we hanging on to? Keeping our eyes closed to certain things? Are we hanging on to a lack with hunger? We just staying in that? No, let's not be fulfilled. Let's hang on to things that don't serve us. Keeping our eyes closed and staying hungry. And I understand, I hear in the back of my head that it's good to have a little hunger so that you can move forward, hungry for more knowledge. But maybe that's a treadmill that we should get off of and just be okay with the knowledge that we have. I don't know. Let's look at what the Dark Mirror card says. And I don't know if you can see this very well. It says envious gluttony. 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 With hunger. So it's like, I'm always searching, I'm always searching, I'm always searching for the answer. And this card says, shut up. Close your eyes. It's okay. Quit searching. Quit. Maybe we have enough right where we are. And let's go into the path of, is that true, or is that the correct way that I'm reading it? And we get the first one is grandfather's breath. Now, this card suggests going into the sweat lodge, and the steam on the rocks is a purifying steam. It opens up the pores. It opens up so that we can be cleansed and we can see the truth. We're getting rid of the toxins of this gluttony, of this always being hunger. And it's all about a journey. So there is no light switch. We don't go into the sweat lodge, pour some steam on the rocks, and boom. Letting go of certain things is a journey. There's water, there's an island, and there's spirit. There's rising above and staying in the water too. I don't know if you can see that. Staying in the water and rising above. And when you're in water, you get to feel the ebb and flow of tides, and you get to feel the surges of the waves. And if you fight against those surges, it's not very fun. It's hard. But if you just go with it, it's exhilarating. I feel a little envious when I remember back being in the water, in those surges, back and forth, almost like rocking you to sleep. And you get the rest card. So it's this journey that I feel we should embrace more. And we're talking about, I got to go back to the initial, how do we let go of things that are no longer serving us? How do we give them up freely without the attachment? Gladly, here, take it. How do we let go of things that we feel are serving us? Here, take it. I've got enough out of it. I don't need to be gluttonous. I've gotten enough. Here, try it. It's good, Mikey. And where is this journey going to lead us? Where is this cleansing going to lead us when we let go of this gluttony of I need more and more and more, this hunger of more and more and more? We get to the pulse of life. We get to the core, the galactic core. And this is a parallel time stream. So this isn't past, this isn't future, this isn't present. This is just another time stream. We think that what we need in the present, this hunger to acquire more, this envious gluttony, more, 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 when we decide to cleanse ourselves of the more need and jump on this journey of going with the flow, going with the tides, with the currents. We're not just being bounced back and forth without a purpose. We're actually feeling the pulse of life, giving and receiving. And I hear when I said that receiving is just as hard as giving, is just as hard as receiving, is just as hard as giving. Goes back and forth. And then, of course, there's the asking, which is just as hard, if not harder, than taking. I think it's harder. I think it's way harder to ask. It's just easier to take. And that's an issue. That's a conflict. That is 3D. All right, moving on. First card I pulled is happiness. And I went, oh my gosh, well, this is just not, this is just not making sense. If I'm hanging on to something, is it making me happy? Or is it this, is this really me? Is it happiness if I'm just hanging on to something too tight? Or is it just a comfort? Or is it just a familiar feeling that gives me happiness? So I go, I don't get it. I don't get this card. In letting go of something that maybe I don't know I'm hanging on to, or I do know I'm hanging on to, that I just can't let go of. I'll just be happiness. I'll just be happy in my bliss. And it looks like the eyes are closed here. I don't know if that's true or not, but just close your eyes and just be happy. So the clarifier that I pulled was black, space, empty, creativity. If we stay in this dark space card, how long can we stay in here without us creating something, without us going, okay, I need to put some color in here, I need to put some life in here, I need sound in here. This card is creation. And we're talking about giving things away that no longer serve us, or that maybe somebody else needs or can use. And the dark mirror card I got is Triumph of Lies. And I went, okay. This goes back to the happiness card. Am I just saying, you are happy, you are happy, you are happy, and it's all just a lie? And again, we're talking about hanging on to things. So this triumph of lies, I'm happy with all my stuff. But really, it's just space. There's nothing in it hanging on to it. The happiness is kind of empty. And we're lying to ourselves, saying, we're good, we're okay. We don't need to move forward. Okay, we do need to move forward. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Moving forward. North. red. This card, the North, represents winter, represents looking back at what you've accomplished in a certain space of time, whether it's your lifetime, whether it's a season, whether it's a month, a day, an hour. Looking back, what did you set out to do? How did you do it? Are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? And you can't stay here in the North for very long because it's the winter, right? So you're resting, and here you have, where'd the rest card go? I saw it, rest, rest. So here in the winter, we're resting, but at the core of this card is change. Because as winter fades in this journey, as winter fades, spring comes. New ideas, new seeds, new opportunities. And the Aboriginal spirit says your journey of giving things up, letting them go easily, it's the accomplishment. And the galactic card, so this tells us we can do it. We can do this. Oh my God. Earth. Being the mentors, Earth, of the future. Wow. We can solve so much of this 3D anxiety and battles and back and forth by letting go and being the mentors and teaching others how to let go. It is the accomplishment. We can do this. We can let go of this. We're going to have a windfall, but it's the journey that we will accomplish. This hanging on to it, is it you or is it somebody else? This past life that somebody said I had that was very traumatic. I was persecuted. I'm going, is that me or is that a past life? What did I learn from it? What am I supposed to hang on to it? I have no idea. Doesn't affect me. I let that go. That's, yep, okay, got it. That was a bad thing that happened, whatever it was. I'm not even sure. It's not me. I'm not hanging on to it. That was an easy one for me to let go of. Some of these others, not so much. Strength. Oh, I got to be strong. Really? Why? Well, because I got to be strong. What if you just gave away your strength and just stood in the present? Let it go and have this healing. And I read this and I know I'm not reading it. The healing crisis is, oh my gosh, there's a crisis. You need to be healed. I took it, the way that I took it was, you're healing a crisis by giving things away, by purging. I don't know, that we look at things in different perspectives. So as we let go of things, as we let go of the 3D life that we're living in, that seems so combative, that has so much anxiety, so much pain, so much joy, love, happiness, strength, peace, rest. There's a lot of good things in this 3D, but there's other things that are just holding us back. What if we let all that go? Things that we think are good, and just freely gave them up for somebody else to use, for somebody else to understand the positives and the negatives of what that means, and move on to healing, the pulse of life. And this card to me gives me chills. We are mentors for the future. As we raise our vibration, as we let go of the past, we are the mentors of the new earth, of the future. I want to thank you guys for watching this Sunday with Spirit. I appreciate you all. Peace and love.